find myself having to, I don't have to, it's none of my business, you can always argue that, but way into this conversation with the Dorset Council and the RNLI. It makes you want to, doesn't it make you want to just sort of bang their heads together? Doesn't it make you want to get hold of them and just clump their heads together and say, now listen here you two, this is getting silly. And the issue that I see, one of the issues that I see, is that the RNLI want to turn off their comments, so that doesn't help the situation, does it? That's bone idle lazy. You can't communicate with people by just having your say and then not letting anybody else communicate what they think to what you've said. What's the point in going on social media to let everybody know what you think and then telling everybody, but I don't care what you think, this is what we think, and that's it. That's a bit dictatorial, which is a bit like your fundraising, really. You know, I can say that because I'm one of the businesses that the RNLI said no to. I tried to help them with fundraising, and they told me unless I was giving them £10,000 in a year, inside a year, in less than 12 months, they wouldn't be interested. And yet they want, you know, old grannies to have coffee mornings and cake mornings, and give them their, if I walk in there and go in there with a £5 note and put it in the box, that's all right. But if I want to do something as a bit, that's why nobody around here does anything. You don't see business after business after business going, I'm doing this for the RNLI. They don't do it because they're not allowed. That's why they don't do it. Anyway, don't get me on that subject because that makes me sore, that does. I produced a nautical set of coins and I wanted to sell them and give half the money to the RNLI, and they basically told me they didn't want it. Anyway, so Dorset Council, RNLI, look, the issue is, first and foremost, you're not being very clear with the public. I'm struggling to understand the communication that the RNLI are giving out, and I'm struggling to understand the language that Dorset Council are using, right? I consider myself a reasonably educated man, but Christ on a bike, I don't understand some of the ways in which people try to talk legally. Right, that's a solicitor's job, that's your legal eagle's job. It's not your job. Anyway, the point is, there needs to be an easy fix, and there is an easy fix. Look, the lifeguards, you've got a situation already well in hand, right? You've got the lifeguard station here, which I've just walked past. Right, so I've just walked past the lifeguard station, and that's all set up. Brilliant. So just replicate that. Whatever you've done here, do it up the other end. Yes, I know that comes with a cost. We'll cover that in a minute. So, you replicate what you've got here, put it up the other end. Now we've got the dual lifeboat stations. Right, so they can help sort out, any problems up that end, and they can also be there to look after the life rafts, the swimming rafts, whatever you want to call them. Right, so that sorts that problem out. We'll come to the payment. So Dorset Council, your job ought to be bringing those rafts in. Well, you've done it now. So this is your one opportunity to do the right thing. Because if there's one thing that the people can't stand, it's you wasting fortunes, right? You don't need to waste money. Let's put a bit of good money to good use. Get them rafts in, the swimming rafts in, whatever they're called. Repaint them, redo them up. Whatever you got to do them up, make them bigger, make them better. Make it so that people will want to get up in the morning at a weekend and go, do you know what, love? Oh, this weather's lovely. Let's nip down to Weymouth. We can have a nice day at Weymouth. We can have a bit of beach. We can go do a bit of shopping, and the kids will love it in the water because they've now redone that little water parky thingy bobby what they've got in the water off the beach there. People would come from miles around if it was good. Right, Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. If you take the time to build it, if you do a good job, they will come. Now, there may be ways in which we can charge a bit of money up that end, right? As opposed to you trying to stitch people up, charging them for taking a poo. People have tried to tell you, but you're just not listening. By the end of the summer, there will be an almighty amount of people that will be so embarrassed they will never come back to Weymouth again, because they've just pooped and peed in their pants right outside a toilet, outside McDonald's, in a place where they can't clean up. So they've now got to get somehow, how do they get to clean themselves up? They've got to get in a car, squishy and stinky. What are they going to do? They're going to get to the beach. They're going to walk from there with their asses clenched, getting to the beach, in order to jump in the sea to wash all the poop off their clothes and their bodies. Are you people not thinking? Are you people asleep? Do not, please, I beg you, do not charge locals or visitors to use the toilet. You've taken toilets away. There are signs up in shops saying customer use only for our toilets. Why are they putting those signs up? Because people are bothering them non-stop to use the toilet, because the council won't let you. You've taken toilets away and turned them into storerooms. You've taken toilets away and turned them into little shops. And now you're thinking of it's ridiculous. What should happen down there, I know we've got off subject a bit, but what should happen down there is down by that Swannery, whatever it is, opposite McDonald's, that should be bigger. You should make a bigger unit there, and it should be manned all the time, and that person's job is to clean those toilets. Right, somebody will be grateful for that job. Make it bigger, put more toilets there, put something else there, right? You've got the space, use it, do it properly. Anyway, getting back to the rafts. So, you're making bigger and better than you've ever made them before. At the moment, you're still using the same rafts that were put out there 100 years ago. I mean, I've seen the paper, it doesn't look any bigger to me. It doesn't look like in 100 years you've added anything. And I think that's why the people get so pissed off with you, because when I look around behind me here at all this infrastructure and everything else, this infrastructure started getting put in 250 years ago. Remember, King George III came down here in 1789. He came down here for the healing waters of Weymouth. How much do you make of that? How much does the advertising for Weymouth make of the healing waters of Weymouth? None whatsoever. And yet that is what turns you into a holiday town. King George come in here into the healing waters of Weymouth, and he brought his mates and he brought his family and he brought his cousin, the Duke of Gloucester. And what did he do? He builds an hotel. All this infrastructure that was put in 200 years ago. How much maintenance have you put in all those years? It's, could add to the infrastructure, could make it bigger and better. It doesn't have to be spangly Blackpool. It's a bucket and spade town. Keep it a bucket and spade town, but fix the infrastructure. Right, so getting back to the rafts again. You got me off subject. So we go back to the rafts. You make it bigger, you make it better, you make it so that people want to visit Weymouth. Right, just for those rafts. We can work on other things as well. There's lots of things that can be worked on to bring visitors into the town, if you wanted to bring those visitors into the town. Remember what I said in the other videos? If you want the disabled people to come here, you'd invite them, you'd make it pleasant for them, right? If you want the kids to come here into this magical bay where you can walk all the way out and it's still only waist high, and you want to make it fantastic, you have the opportunity right here, right now in 2025. You can make that area the first bit that's like, not a new Weymouth, but it's like we're getting our act together Weymouth. That will bring money into the town. That will bring business into the town. If it's good enough, people will come here and they'll stay in a bed and breakfast or a hotel for a couple of nights, just to visit, right? But it has to be good enough. It has to be big enough. And it has to be exciting. And you can do this now. I know. You're all going, oh yeah, but we ain't got the money, we ain't got the resources. Shut up. We are tired of hearing that lame excuse. I ain't got the money, I ain't got the resources. but we've got to pay this council official this 200 grand, and we've got to pay that council official this and 50 grand or whatever. No. Look. It might kind of scratch your head sometimes as to how can this lunatic bloke, Ian Lambert, do what he's doing. How do I find the time to do it? How do I find the time to get 50,000 views on a video? How do I find the time to do what I do? The truth is, I don't. I have help. And I have help because I asked for help. I wasn't too proud to say, I need some help. I wonder where I could get that help from. And I asked a couple of people, and a couple of people said, I'll help you in. You can do the same thing. RNLI, you haven't got the time, the inclination, and you can't be asked to spend any time answering the comments. That's fine. Put a notice out there and say we could do with a bit of help. There are people around here that will help you. There are people here that will give their time for free. Not just to jump in the water and save someone, but there are people that will help you at home on their computer. And they don't mind helping you moderate, so that you can answer the questions, etc, etc. You can answer comments. There will be comments that those volunteers can help answer. And then the odd comments that they literally can't answer, they can come back to one of you for and get a proper response. Right? That solves that problem. Instead of coming across like a load of dictatorial people that are not interested in what the public has to say. Let me tell you, you wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the public. So I think it's treating the public this way, it's not good. It's not a good look. It really isn't. And I know you people are lovely. I've lived next door to a lifeboat man. I know you people are lovely, and it's got nothing against any of the people that are working there. You all do a marvellous, marvellous job. It is the hierarchy sometimes. It is the officialdom sometimes. It is the people in the suits sometimes. The wrong people that are in the job and getting paid too much money. So, that solves that problem. Dorset Council. You haven't got the time, you haven't got the resources, you haven't got the money, so ask. Ask the people that you serve. You are here for Dorset. Weymouth and Portland Council's here for Weymouth and Portland. If you haven't got the resources, but something is important enough, ask. Ask for some help. There are people like me that can help. I can put 50,000 views on a video. Any video you like. That's what I can do. That's not me being big-headed. That's because I've just come out of a 7-year apprenticeship of social media. You could say I've just done 2 doctorates. You have no idea at the kind of apprenticeship that I've just done for 7 years. So when it comes to the social media side of things, no one can touch me on that. I can put 50,000 views on a video. I don't know. It could be a bloke making a woman, whatever, making a sandcastle on a beach. I'll put 50,000 views on that. It might be a crap video. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that's what I can do, right? Right, now, if that's what I can do, who am I? I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody, as people keep telling me. I'm a nobody, I'm nothing. I'm not that much of the sand that's on the beach. You people, you people in the suits, you've got no idea of what you've got at your disposal. There are people in and around the Weymouth area, they've got 500, they can put 500,000 views on a video. I've got a small page with 6,000 people on it. There are people that have got 600,000. If you harnessed what you have in Weymouth, if you harnessed that, people like me, people that are willing to help, that have got the reach, that know what they're doing and can help, you could have a video go out, you could have 1 million views on that in less than a week because people like me have all pulled together, and suddenly you've just raised £1.6 million, and you can now do a job that you really want to do for the people, but you never had the money to do before. All because, you know, you've got the balls to actually go, we need to ask for help. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep telling the people we got no money, and yet we're taking our money in wages. We can't keep telling them that. We can't keep telling them that they've got to pay for us to go on our holidays, and they've got to pay for our redundancy, and they've got to pay for our massive wages, and yet we can't give them toilets. You've got to stop. One way of doing it is you've got to spend the money. You can't get away from spending the money. So if you ain't got the money, ask for help. It's that simple. And that's how you fix the raft problem. You fix the raft problem by working together. RNLI, Dorset Council, you need to be round the table. Having a little spat on social media, that is a really bad look. It's one thing when you have a muppet like me coming on social media and having a moan, but when you've got two organisations like you, the type of organisations you are, and you're going up against each other and you're having these little spats, and the spats are more likely to be suits in the office that actually don't understand the real job. I bet you that there are lifeboat men cringing at what's going on, thinking, what the WTF are these people doing? So that's my view. Sort it out. If you want a hand, I'll come to the table. I'm sure there's a couple of other people around in Weymouth that would offer to come to the table. I'll come to the table. There are some great ideas that can be bandied about. All it needs is a few people to come up with ideas. Oh, and when it comes to spending the money on all this stuff over there, the next thing you'll say is, oh yeah, but we don't know what to buy. Ask, because you've got an army here in Weymouth. You have an army. There are people, there are single mums, there are blokes, there are retired guys, there are retired women, etc. And there are people that understand computers, there are people that understand social media, there are people that understand Google. They know how to use Google. They know how to find maybe a wraparound boom thing that can make the area a bit safer, so that if there are any waves come in, it won't affect it because it'll hit the boom first. There's stuff like that which you could buy, and to save time and money on you finding out where this stuff is, and maybe even buying the stuff that's too expensive, people can help you. Just ask for the help and they will help you find whatever is needed. This is an opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm going to go as far as saying this is the opportunity of a century, because it's been the same for 100 years, right? 100 years it's been the same for. That means whatever you do now, that might be that for 100 years. Why not do something that Weymouth can be proud of? Why not do something that everybody in Weymouth, when they get a visitor from out of town and come down with their kids, can tell them, oh, we've got this at the end of the beach. And then if you put that at the end of the beach, it's going to help the people up there, the people that have got the cafes up the end of the beach. That helps them. There's so many winners if you do this properly. And my God, there are so many losers if you screw this up. So the pair of you, sort yourselves out, get together around a table, a cup of coffee, give me a shout, I'll turn up, I'll buy the coffee. By the end of that meeting, we start at 9 o'clock in the morning and we don't stop until we come out of there with the answer. Done, dusted, in one day, all together, instead of having a public punch-up, which is just embarrassing for you. As always, please share a business off our page, and please go to one of the businesses, any business that it doesn't have to be on our page, any business that you've done business with, right? Anyone at all, you've used them, go to their page, search them. Who have you used lately? Go and search them, leave them a review. It's the review button on the pages that makes a huge difference. Please do that for some of these businesses. Many thanks. Ta-da.